Welcome to the clean 10 square feet of my home. Okay, several hours later, I've got one more tiny weld to do. Show you what I've got going here. Okay, so here it is. You can see the welds are pretty ugly, so I've had to do it in layers and go back through and try to cover as many of my welds as I can from the back side. So I've got one last one to take care of here. And I've already pre-sanded off my piece. I don't know if you can see, there's like a little shiny spot there. That's the part I have to weld. This kind of welding, I love the way the rusty stuff looks more than just bare steel, usually, but it is the hardest stuff to work with. It's like the most frustrating stuff to try to weld. There's been a little bit of profanity going on in the shop today, I have to admit. Each time I do this, I have to figure out a new spot to ground the work to so that it'll actually weld. I've welded my pliers to this thing about 3 times. See if that works. Wish me luck. And I've got my tree here all bent up. And that's gonna go kind of right about here. I'm just gonna give the trunk a little bit more tweaking here. Just get some natural bends. It's kind of funny, as I was doing this, I know I always say like, oh, things in nature, they always have a pattern to them and blah, 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 which is true to some extent. But there's also this like, I don't know, pleasingly aesthetic asymmetry that we sort of are drawn to. Like, we like things that look kind of random or just a tiny bit off, not perfectly straight, not perfectly lined up in pairs and matching and whatever. There's a beauty in the randomness you find in nature too, and I don't know, that's something I've always been kind of obsessed with too, is like the perfect randomness. Like when you drive by a field that has those round bales on it, and they're just, the machine is just dropping them wherever it finishes a bale. But sometimes the way they get laid out is just like one here, one there, and there's not any pattern to it at all. That can be really pleasing to the eye. So when I'm doing something like this, I'm trying to intentionally create that randomness, and it's really hard to not do things in a pattern. So I don't know, take that for whatever it's worth. I'm not even sure what it means, but it's part of that artistic process whole thing. Okay, I just happen to have a really nice weld on the back side right here that would work really well to weld that right there. I'm gonna have to shine up a little spot here, a couple little spots. So I want that like that. And yeah, I want that. Okay. Oh. My Dremel keeps going around to the front side and scratching it. All right. This is how my pliers keeps getting welded to the work, but better the pliers than my hand, right? Okay, now I gotta find a ground spot again. Let's see, we'll try it right there. Okay, last weld, I hope. That sounded terrible. I have no idea if this is even on here. Looks like just a big gooby, horrible weld that didn't even... Nope, the tree's not even stuck on here. This was a bad weld. Sometimes people mistakenly think the welder is just sort of a giant hot glue gun, and that is so not the case. There's a lot that has to go right in order for it to be a good weld. Now my tree's all crooked. Now my ground fell on the floor. This is what causes profanity in the workplace, people. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can just pull my whole cord up. It's all tangled in my other cords. Okay. Okay, little tree, prepare to get planted. Now that had the right sound. That sounded like a good one. And it was. And did I burn through to the front? No, I did not. Because I'm awesome, that's why. Or something. Okay. I've got a couple welds that are still exposed, but I think... just not sure. Check out one last thing here. All this stuff is so time-consuming, totally flat. I want it to be up. Okay, so then I've got to find it on the back. That weld's hot still. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try. Let's see. I'm going to try to weld it up here. I'm going to try to hold it, not let go of it, and grind it and weld it all in one slow motion here. Dang! I keep thinking I'm done. Okay, that got a little hot, but it's on there. Oh, and I like it. I like it, and of course I see one more I want to add. It's from my air compressor. It only does that when it starts up, so I don't know if that was bad, but... Okay. Sorry this is taking so long. I know I'm being super anal, but hey, whoever gets this is gonna want a super cool piece of artwork, not an okay piece of artwork, so hey, it's gotta be right. That's just the way it is. Forgot about my ground again. Right there. That'll be a good one. Right there. Get off. Okay. Kinda slop, but it'll work, I think. It's a weld to a weld. It's welded to a weld. All right, now, let's see what we got going here. I like it. Okay, check it out. Let's see if I can show you guys this. Ugh. Okay, now remember, this will look way cooler when it's all varnished, and when I showed you before how it was wet and the colors came through a lot more, but this is more just to show you for composition and for me to check myself. But I'm thinking basically kind of like this. Let's see if I can... Basically like that. That tree throws a cool shadow too, so depending on where this is hung and how it's lit and stuff, that could be a whole nother cool aspect to it. But anyway, yeah, I like it. And this, adding this sculptural element to a wall piece is always kind of, I don't know, it's fun. It's just a different twist than a regular painting or whatever. Here it is, guys. How do you think it turned out? I'm pretty happy with it. I actually wish that tree would rust a little bit more, so before I bring it to the gallery, I probably am going to leave it outside for a little bit longer. The varnished part will stay just how it is, but all the exposed metal will just continue to get a little bit more of that corrosion of rust on it. Like, I just would like to see it have a little bit more of that even, powdery orange finish of beautiful, beautiful rust. Anyway, thanks. See you next time. Holy cow, a big huge wind just came. Woo. Yes, that scary noise happens many times a day too and startles me almost every single time. I'm told it's called popping the blow plug or something. Not sure what it means. Hopefully it just means I won't explode someday. If anybody has any big wisdom on that, feel free to chime in. But enough about me. What do you think of me? Oh boy.